Good morning, guys. Hope we're well. Let me fix the music here. Background music. Put this a little bit louder. Happy Monday, all. Hope we are all doing good. Morning to everyone. Breakfast cereal got extra goodness. Yes, sir. Morning, Harry. I still prefer the black background. Yes, the white backgrounds were just for the video. Thought it would freshen up the video, make it look a little bit more livelier. I did also play with the lighting. Instead of filming it during the day, I filmed it at night, and you guys probably saw that. Spent a lot more time editing that video in terms of the introduction and stuff like that. So, I mean, if you like that got an audio delay. Wait, let me see if that's with you or with me. Let me pull up the stream and see. One sec. Testing. Wait, let me see if that's... No, there's no audio delay, man. There's no audio delay. That's you. Come on, man. Messing me up in the morning. Just come to the chart. Need to cover some important stuff. There's no audio delay. Refresh it or yeah, do something, but there's no audio delay. Important, guys. Quarterly close, monthly close. A lot of stuff to cover here. News for today is nothing. No news. We do have some USD news later, but that's after New York session even, so not too much of an issue. But yeah, let's cover higher time frame analysis and get straight into it. We're going to go on to the quarterly chart here, which is the 3-month chart, and look at how GJ has closed on a 3-month time frame here. We've closed bullish, right? But we haven't closed above our resistance, which is a little bit worrying. But if we start to break this high, there's a possibility we can see this wick be filled. And, you know, maybe not the full wick here. But if we close above this zone, we can expect upside. But nevertheless, this is a strong support. And that's the information we need to take from this quarterly time frame, is that there is a strong support here. Can we expect a bottom wick? Yeah, bottom wick can come all the way down back to 158. 158. We can retest 158 and still remain bullish in a 3-month time frame, right? If we drop down to the monthly time frame, we see the same thing, and that 158 level becomes our major support, right? So this 158 is now a very, very important level on our higher time frame analysis. The previous monthly has closed basically doing nothing. So we wick down, we respected the support. That's the information we can take from that monthly time frame, is that we're respecting the support. We didn't break the highs, we didn't break the lows, we did nothing. There's no information we can take from the last monthly candle. The only information we can take is that we're just rejecting the monthly support, right? So until we start breaking the highs here, or at least the previous month highs, we're not going to see that continuation all the way up to fill, maybe up to this wick here at 169 and potentially 170, right? So as I said, we could pull back here, we could come back and retest our mid-range at 161, 500-ish. And, you know, we could see some action in there. If we go down to the weekly time frame, the weekly time frame is very, very nice here because we've got a closure above our resistance here. Only thing that worries me is we're below this resistance here, but this has been tested before, right? So since we closed above here, obviously if we break the highs, it will give us the easiest continuations. But if you guys watch my last video, if everything is respecting and, you know, showing us that upside makes sense, we can get the wick fill, right? So that's the video I just posted yesterday, was about wick fills versus rejection wicks. And for me, this is not a rejection wick yet. This is a potential for a wick fill, but that doesn't mean we can't make a monthly bottom wick, 3-month bottom wick, and weekly bottom wick first, right? So we could pull down all the way back down to 159 on the weekly time frame before flipping and going bullish. I've seen GJ do that. I've seen a weekly candle fully bearish, 100, 200 pips bearish, and on the Friday, on the last day of the week, it flips bullish. So I've definitely seen that before, and won't be surprised if we, you know, we make a bottom wick before coming up and filling this wick before the end of the week. As for the daily time frame here, daily is the only problem with daily now is we're closing at resistance here, right? So we have a daily resistance. I'm going to bring back all the drawings. Don't get scared when you see all the drawings. They're pretty simple. Boom. And this kind of daily, you know, this is a major support zone. This was our previous support from back here. It was also resistance now. I mean, do I want to move it back up to here? Let me see what it is on lower time frames, right? But basically, we're stuck in this zone. But the important thing here is where it's going to be our weekly resistance. You can see our weekly resistance is around that 163,500 level. So as long as we're above that 163,500 level, we're just respecting the weekly support, which we tried to do, came down. Market open was here today. So market opened right here, popped up, nice upside move, tested this zone here, retraced the whole zone, showed us that, okay, there's more bearish pressure, respected the 163,500, and now we're kind of ranging here. So let's populate what we're going to do for the session here, if we're going to look for buys or for sells. And the first thing I do see here is we have these two rejection wicks in a 4-hour candle closing bullish here. So this is literally the fullest of mixed sessions. We have daily candle closing bearish with the lows being broken, and 4-hour candles closing bullish with the highs being broken. Now we have this resistance up here that I need to watch. This support is down here, so I'm just going to move this down to here, and I'm going to change this to 4-hour support because that's our 4-hour support. And for today, yeah, I don't like how that goes through all the middle of the candles, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna sell until we get below 500. That's respecting the weekly zone. I don't think selling is viable, but if I'm gonna buy today, I think we have a shot buying above 164 here. Once we get above this rejection zone and this wick here, yeah, I think there's a possibility to see buys. I rather see, since we're mixed, I rather see, where's this daily resistance though? Yeah, the daily resistance not all the way up there, so we have some space to trade. Yeah, we have all the way up till this zone here, so it's not too much of an issue. Yeah, I'm probably more lenient to buys. I'll either buy if this breaks down now, create some sort of support, I can buy up to here and potentially continue. If not, I'm going to wait for above and then continue price bullish like this. For sells, it's possible to sell right now, but we have this 4-hour support, and I'm not selling into that 4-hour support. It's too small of a range. Breaking these lows is only 7 pips. 7 pips to the 4-hour support. It's not worth it for me, and I don't think it's a good idea selling into this 4-hour support. So be very, very careful with selling. Even below it's still a bit messy. I mean, you could, below the 4-hour support, if you wanted to counter trend sell, if we started closing below, creating resistance, and around London open and break that, yeah, you could target this. It's a 13 pip range. So the ranges are pretty small at the first day of the month here. Not as big as I was expecting. How about the upside? Let's see the upside. What are we looking at? If we create support from here, it's 19 pips, a little bit better. Break above here, 21 pips. Yeah, so we need pretty big moves to get some good pips today. Now let's have a look at gold, 3-month chart on gold. So that's a very interesting 3-month chart here, closed above the resistance here, right? And we haven't created the biggest of top wicks, so you could easily expect this to flip. But when we go to the weekly time frame, there's some really important stuff here. But on gold, this is a very interesting closure. But you know, you have to understand this. When we're looking at the 3-month chart, if you look at the last 3 months, we did close above the resistance, never broke the high, we ended up reversing the move. The same thing could happen here. We could close above the resistance, never break the high, and this could end up reversing. So what we have to do is we have to look at what the lower time frames tell us, and the monthly time frame is a lot of information because we're closing inside of the range. We're at the top of the range. We're not breaking out of the top of the range. We could see a quick wick up, but there's nothing indicating here that we are going to have a continuous breakout. And more so, you know, we're kind of creating resistance at this weekly resistance here, right? So if I zoom in here and we start to remove every single line here, and we'll go fresh. So I'll show you how to mark a fresh chart. So we have this weekly resistance, and that until we close above this weekly resistance, there's no continuation up. We're more bearish on the lower time frames than bullish, but we're kind of ranging, which you'll see on the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, this is the bottom of the daily range, right? So this is your daily support here, and that's the only one you have to mark because the top is kind of this 2000 level, and we have the weekly resistance. So we're stuck between this range here. I'm just going to adjust this to the 4-hour support as well. We have another 4-hour support somewhere around here. Reason I'm not marking this one is because this is the lowest one, right? So I'm just marking the peripheries basically of our range. And 4 hours are closing bearish here. We're at this support here rejecting. We're kind of at the bottom of the range. For gold, it's going to be tough. You have to wait for more clarity. You're trading inside of the range. If we do start breaking below the support, you could probably start selling. If not, you'll have to wait for supports to form a kind of change of structure like this in order to be able to take price for buys here on gold from the bottom of the range. But I'd rather see a 4-hour candle close bullish before attempting to take buys, right? For now, sells is an option, but the target is too close here. I mean, you know, it's just where it's happened overnight at the daily open. But yeah, daily candle's also interesting. No top wick here. Definitely could reject the bottom of the range again and flip. So yeah, that's pretty much the analysis here. Long-term analysis on gold is that we're at resistance here. So this is a make or break. We're either going to try create support and try to retest this resistance and break down. If you see some sort of formation like this, where this is what I expect to happen to see if we're going to see a reversal, and this long term will allow me actually to sell gold. I can actually sell gold long term if I see something like this on a weekly time frame. So you guys need to relax. There's ways to, you know, sell gold from this price, but it's not selling it on a 5-minute time frame. I'm waiting for weekly confirmation, because if you took sells up here on a weekly, look how much you have. All, you know, that's like a 2,400 pip move, right? You have so much space. But once we see this kind of, we try, we fail again, we break down and then close below, sells become easy. Just these 3 weak bearish candles don't mean anything. We're still holding support above this weekly resistance. Minimum, we need to close below that weekly resistance, and then we can see a move towards the downside. So that's what I'm watching here. Until that, we're ranging, we're accumulating here. Buys from the bottom of the range, and selling from the top of the range might be difficult as well. To sell from the top of the range, because we still have bullish posturing, right? We're still more bullish than bearish here because of the move we've had. So, but we can't take buys until support is formed, right? So a bit of patience here in the beginning of the month, but there's definitely a lot of opportunities and a lot of things setting up, which is definitely going to make price very, very interesting. And yeah, as I told you guys, I like to trade gold on higher time frames and more swing it. So I'm definitely looking at the options that might happen. So yeah, that's basically that. That's my analysis. Hope you enjoyed my analysis. If you did enjoy my analysis, leave a like. And if you have any questions, you know, shoot them in the chat now. Anything you want me to look at. If you just want to say good morning, you can say good morning. Any questions, let me know. And yeah, that's the analysis. So yeah, pretty clean, pretty simple. If something confused you, let me know. You trade on Sydney, Japan, any tips? Yeah, use higher time frames, maybe like 1 hour, 30-minute closures instead of 15-minute closures, because at that time you normally find a lot of range. Don't put stop loss tight, keep it below the range, because you'll normally notice you might have to hold trades a little bit longer. Analysis for GU. Yeah, we can have a look at GU today. Weekly time frame on GU. See what the monthly did. Yeah, monthly is closing bullish here. Weekly time frame is also bullish, but at the top of the range. It's kind of like gold stuck in this range here. Daily time frame is trying to break down. What's 4 hour doing? 4 hours also better. Yeah, I think today you could sell GU. You just need to wait for some more confirmation. Yeah, probably really just closing below this support here. You could probably take sells towards this. It's only 8 pips. I'd say either you're taking sells below 1.22668, or you're waiting for any closures below this type of support here to try anticipate that this momentum continues and you can get a further move down. Probably anything closing below this type of zone here probably will continue down for today. Euro USD, we have requests for Euro USD. Let's have a look. Monthly time frame. Monthly is also bullish like GU. Weekly time frame on Euro USD is at resistance. Daily time frame created resistance. You're almost at a daily support here. Again, similar to GU, your sells only, you don't have much of a range here to sell. 8 pips. I'll be very careful at this support. You kind of want more pullbacks to sell down. That's going to be your best option here, because we're kind of extended the best sells came at open or break of this low here, you would have been in already. Now we kind of need to wait for, if you can get a pullback, to sell back down. That would be the best. Still practicing marking up the higher time frame levels. You don't have to mark up all the higher time frame levels. If you look at GJ, what I have marked up, very simple levels I have marked up. Just the daily resistance, a 1 hour resistance, a 4 hour resistance, and a 4 hour support. That's the only levels I'm looking at. Right? And this level here, I don't really actually need this level right here. You know, I think I can delete that, to be honest. It's not really that important because you can see that level with your eyes. So this is kind of what's important now. It's just a few lines, you know, keeping it clean and simple. What's my trading platform? MT5. MT5. Trade on MT5, and yeah, I just use Tradingview for analysis. Always the candle bodies. Always mark the candle bodies. As you can see, 30-minute candle body is marked. 4 hour support, bodies is marked. Morning, Crest, morning. Morning, Harry. What's the plan for GJ? Well, we have a mixed session today. Daily is closing bearish, 4 hours closing bullish. If we can start to get above this resistance, I think we can start to see some buys and kind of continue this move that we had pre-session and at session open. For me, I'm not interested in selling, but there is, because of this 4 hour support right here, this line is a 4 hour support. If we do get below the 4 hour support, there is possibility, but it's the first of the month, so not looking to sell right now. There's not enough confirmation, especially if you look at the 4 hour time frame with these 3 rejection wicks. I don't like selling into that, so I rather buy here. I'm just looking for a way to get in at the moment. And I also was measuring the ranges. Our ranges are not too big here. It's only a 37 pip range to retrace the whole move here. But we have this closure here, which will also be the 1 hour closure. So let's see how this closes here, and we can start to make decisions. Why is the first of the month slow? No, first of the month, it's just price is deciding what it wants to do. Maybe it wants to make a monthly bottom wick. There's a lot of factors that happen at the first of the month. Maybe there's not many people trading and stuff like that, right? Morning, morning. How's your morning going? All good, brother. What's your funded company? I don't have a funded company, nor do I use a funded company. You're short on Bitcoin? On sell side for long term, you surely want to sit in a sell. For me, in order to see a price flip, I need to see a change of structure on the weekly time frame, minimum daily time frame. If I see that, then maybe I can entertain selling long term. If not, everything is still bullish on gold. We have candles closing strongly bullish and very weak. Very weak. What's this? Weekly candle closing bearish. So it's not too much information. Let's see if I agree with you selling Bitcoin. Well, if you sold Bitcoin from here, it's obviously a good idea. Yeah, it makes sense. Daily bearish, 4 hour. Yeah, 4 hour bearish. Just be careful of this support, that we don't start rejecting this support. But if we start getting below it, yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. You should do a video on your views of funding companies. I'm not here to hate on different funding companies. If I haven't used a funding company, I'm not going to speak about them. But I do have a video here. Let me see. I do have a video on my YouTube channel. Let that load and I'll show you about what I exactly think about funding companies and how to pass a funding company. I made a video on the exact steps. Still not loading. Here we go. I made a video on the exact steps to pass funding companies, which is yeah, secrets to pass funding challenge. This is a good video, and I even talk about what I think about funding companies, right? Because you have to understand their business model. You don't use trend lines. No, I don't use trend lines because trend lines are subjective. Support and resistance, we can't argue, right? We can't argue that a 4-hour support is a 4-hour support because the chart says that this is a 4-hour support. How is a support defined? Is a bullish candle after a bearish candle is defined as a support. There's no way you can argue that this is not a 4-hour support. It's impossible for you to argue that this doesn't count. But if we draw a trend line, we can argue so many different trend lines, right? You can argue that this is a trend line. You can argue that this is a trend line, right? Everyone can argue all different types of trend lines, right? People can argue that was a trend line on lower time frames. Then it broke and retested the trend line. And I can't say you're wrong and I can't say you're right. So if I can't say you're wrong and I can't say you're right, it's subjective. And with subjective things, if you lose a trade on a subjective thing, you can't repeat it in the future. Because in the future, if you try to repeat that, you're going to be like, was that the same trend line I drew last time, or is that a different trend line? Is that trend line? And then you don't know if what you're doing is correct or what you're doing is wrong. And that's where that inconsistency in your trading starts. But if you were trading at 4-hour support and you lost the trade because you sold at 4-hour support, well, obviously that's very, very clear as to why you lost, because 4-hour support is 4-hour support. So I hope that explains it in depth and a very clear explanation. 1 hour close bullish here, very weak bullish candle below. I really wanted price to close above. I was looking for price to close above this zone right here. I was hoping that the 1 hour could close above this resistance here. And it seems that we have failed to close above this resistance, right? So I would like to see something get above there before something. So we'll see. If something gets above there, maybe you can start to entertain something. Just give me 2 seconds. One minute. I'm gonna write 1 minute. Or BRB. No, I'll just be back in 2 minutes. Just give me a sec. Time for AU. Can you look at AU? Yeah, two people want AU. Sure. Can look at AU. Monthly time frame. Bearish. Okay. But with this rejection, so will we get a wick fill is the question. Yeah, we have to be careful with that rejection. It means weekly is closing consolidation. Trade's such a bad pair. It's consolidating for ages. The last whole week I've been watching. You've been asked me to analyze AU. It's been consolidating. 4 hour time frame breaking the low here. Most likely, I think you will be able to get a wick fill here. But you have this 1 hour support. If you do close below this 1 hour support, you probably could see some downside. If not, there's nothing to do right now. Yeah, anything closing below this 1 hour support here, you can potentially see some downside to fill the wick and potentially continue. This background music sounds like it's got a female company, or we need a candle to open fire. Background music's random. I just put on this lofi music. When it breaks the consolidation, it'll go very nicely. Well, yeah, I've been waiting for a week. I trust you, but I've been waiting. Looks like we have a bit of volume in here. You can see how quickly the candle is moving. Breaking this high is an option, but it's not one I'm interested because the 1 hour didn't close above this zone. So I at least want to see a 15-minute close above. 15-minute didn't even close above. If this just shoots without me, there's nothing I can do. But I don't want to enter a trade without my confirmation and end up losing the trade because I don't follow my rules and I don't know and I don't feel comfortable holding drawdown. Because if this is going to play out today, it's going to take some time, I think, you know. Because look at this range. Like, only just to move all the way up to there is 20 pips. It's not big. It's not a big range. There's a gap in my broker. Yeah, there will be a gap. Gap was already filled, though, so we're looking beyond the gap here. Looking at that. Get back up to these zones here. If this was just a gap, then it would be hard trading right now, but this gap has already been dealt with. So we'll see if we can get the close above here. And then if we do get the close above, how am I going to take this? 1 hour breaking. Yeah, this is the 1 hour high. So you probably want the 1 hour high to break first. Yeah, so we probably want to see this 1 hour high broken and then some sort of pullback. Then we can take it. The only thing that annoys me today is the range is really, really small range, man. Like to get all the way up to here is only 20 pips. You have to imagine the candle that has to come. The candle that has to come has to look something like this. Like that's the candle I have to expect. So yeah, let's see here in 8 minutes. See if we can get something. What's the bias on GJ? Mixed bias on GJ, but I'm more lenient on buys today than selling. I'm not too interested in selling GJ today. I'm long in GJ. Yeah, there's options to be long here. I'm just looking for the quickest and most efficient move here and not rushing into anything at the beginning of the month. You have the whole month to trade. You know, no need to try any tricky business here. You know, take your time. Take your time. It's Monday. You know, if we see a good setup, I'll take it. I mean, I'm waiting for this candle to close to see if I can take a potential trade here. But if it doesn't, if it closes below the resistance, then there's not going to be a trade here. Where are you long from? Yeah, I'm just watching this zone. This 1 hour high needs to break. I'd prefer if this 1 hour high was to break. If the 1 hour high does break, and then we can start looking for a way to get in. Just how much do I trust this zone? How much do I trust this zone pre-London? That is the question. Took Gbpjpy since breaking the high of the pre 4 hour. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. That's more of a swing, but you have to hold your stops pretty big. Your stops have to be 52 pip stops. So it's a pretty big stop for me, not the way I personally trade. And it's a very small range. Your range is 1 to 1, right? 55 for 52 pip stop. So it's pretty, you know, if this didn't end up moving, you're gonna be a little bit annoyed. Took it in 30 minute. Yeah, that's okay, but if you're taking an idea based off the 4 hour, you have to use 4 hour stops. If you're taking it on 30 minute, you use 30 minute stops. Let's see how you would have entered on 30 minute. Yeah, you entered all the way back here. You know, it'd be better to run deeper stops because, oh, there's a nice push now. Shit. Bit of volume coming in here. Let's see what we get now. Let's see. Harry, how do you manage TPSL with broker spread? If the spread is 30, should I add or minus 30? Yeah, your spread shouldn't be 30. That's too much. Use a broker that has better spreads. Should at least be maximum 1.5. Yeah, 1.8 maximum. Maximum. Pretty random candle this. Big volume candle here. If this just closed slightly above, I would be involved in this move, but you can't take the moves that don't follow your plan. That's how you lose in trading long term. And you have to trust me on that. Because if I was holding drawdown in a move that I didn't want to take, now I don't know if it's going to play out or not, because that's bad drawdown. That's drawdown where I don't have the analytics to tell me that most of the time this trade should play out. If you're risking a lot of money on that, not the best of ideas. But if I take a trade that makes sense and I understand, even if I'm in drawdown, I'm not panicking. I don't care if I'm in drawdown, because I trust the trade will play out eventually. Okay, so we have this candle here. It's a nice candle. 2 minutes for this to close. Breaking the high here. You know, we have 8 pip range to here. We have a 23 pip range to here. Stop loss will be 20 pips. The only issue is I don't like that we've had such a big push already. So I rather wait for maybe a 15-minute to pull back, or a 5-minute time frame to give me a pullback, instead of entering after bullish after bullish after bullish candles. If this just wants to continue pushing bullish, so be it. I'll have other trade options, and yeah, I'm not going to be pissed off here. No need to write in caps, man. I can read your question. I would watch the next resistance here. There's a small resistance, 164, 200. You can watch to there. But really, I think the 30-minute resistance will be your target. 4-hour wick fill is a little bit far-fetched just now. We have this area here, which I would literally watch, which is this daily support and resistance area. Yeah, so 164, 350, I think is a good target if you're gonna try hold this trade. $372. Yeah, around 350, 370, kind of the same. Yeah, come on, GJ. This candle looks massive. This candle looks like it's a 30 pip candle, but when I measure it, it's only 14 pips. Come on. Yeah, this is a big volume move. So I take this. So for everyone watching, I take note of this. Today early we got this volume move, and for me trading tomorrow, if I see any riskier setup, I won't mind taking it at this time because of based on what I've saw today, right? But just no entry confirmation I had. It's tough. Can't do things that you're not sure about. Close below 30-minute resistance. If I look back at this trade, 1 hour close below resistance, 30-minute close below resistance. You have to remember that this is a gap here, so you can't really count it, right? When we're trading a gap, you have to really watch what's behind the gap, because this move down here, right? Remember that this move down was coming down to fill this gap. So really the LTA we're looking at is this LTA here. This is the zone we're looking to trade. This here was caused by the gap that opened in the market, and this just filled the gap. So I'm not really relying too much, and you can see the reaction it had at this resistance here, which is why I really wanted the close above. I mean, I could have taken it the break of the high, but that would have been a lot more riskier taking it at the break of the high, right? Because you have no confirmation. I at least wanted a 15-minute to close above here. That's my rules. That's what keeps me safe long-term trading. And yeah, whatever keeps me safe long term, I will repeat. Yeah, that's a pretty big 5-minute candle here. Very interesting to see that. Small, boom, volume came. We saw this last week. We would get a move like this pre-London. London would pull back, create some sort of support. Then I can take nice trades towards the upside here, right? So I'll write that as a plan so you guys know. Very, very simple. Plan supports to form for buys. Gold still ranging? Yeah, gold is still basically ranging. This is probably going to continue trending. If we break this high here, if you break this high on lower time frames, you'll probably see price continue to push here. But the range I think is only like, yeah, 15 pips. Small ranges. Very interesting to see how small these ranges are. Such big moves for small ranges. And sometimes you have to adjust your eyes. Remember, I drew this candle. I said for me to be in a profitable position, I need a candle like this to happen. But when we haven't been seeing that in the markets, it's hard to say. Can we consider 5-minute support? Yeah, for a scalp, you can consider a 5-minute support. But remember, man, the range here is only 14 pips. So if you want to try scalp 14 pips, it can make sense. But yeah, 5-minute support also can be okay. Like if this candle closes bearish here, the next one closes bullish above, you can take it to there. Maybe I'll join in on that. I'll see. This is like a momentum play here. It sometimes happened often. If you see this candle here close bearish like this, the next one wicks down and starts to break the high like this, you can expect maybe the next candle to give you something like this, right? If it starts breaking the high, you can expect that candle like this. Now you can yeah, if it re-breaks the high here, you can potentially expect this to give you a nice push. For me, the range is too small. To this resistance here is 6 pips, and to up here is 15 pips. 15 pips is not too bad, but again, I'm not beginning of the month. I'm relaxing, right? First day of the month, I normally don't force anything on the first day of the month. It's how I always choose to trade. Take a solid trade. Target 164.4 for TP. I would say 350. A little bit below that. Why 350? Because that's like the 30-minute zone here. And it's also our daily support and our 4-hour rejection zone. So I think 350 is better. We'll watch it on 5-minute, more interesting. Yeah, if this re-breaks the high now, yeah, I expect this to push here. I expect this to push. Could be a fun scalp. Stop loss 11 pips. Target 14 pips. Could be a fun scalp. But yeah, I'm waiting. Yeah, it's up to you how risky you want to go. If you want to take this trade, it's the beginning of the month. Depends how you just want to force a trade because you have anxiety and you have to take a trade, then you could have taken this. Right? That's the push that you expect. Like, I'm happy to miss these moves because not really in my plan. Five-minute on gold, break of structure. Yeah, that's just a 5-minute, very weak confirmation. 1 hour is closing bullish here from the bottom of the range. Problem is, you don't want to get this. Oops. You don't want to get this retracement here. Price rejects this, and then you find yourself at the bottom of the screen. Because we're still bearish here. So I rather wait for a 4-hour candle to close bullish on gold. And for now, wait for resistance to form to take sells from here to continue down. GJ flying. Yeah, so that 5-minute is working out now. pushing a bit of a 5 pip push so far. Probably when you get to around 8 pips, I would probably go break even. But no, not a move for me. And I'm happy not to take these, because that's my plan. And that's being a disciplined trader. It's what keeps you safe in the long term. Take what you know works. There's plenty of people who's taking moves left, right, and center. But I can't guarantee and tell you that these people are profitable long term. It's very hard to know if they consistently make profits, taking moves that they don't know 100%. Because this is a pretty good position now if you're in this trade on the 5 minute. Yeah, if you get this closing like this, anything closing below this support, like if the next candle starts to retrace and it closes below the support, you can just cut your trade short, right? If that closes below there and starts breaking this wick here, just cut your trade short, right? And instead of losing 11 pips, right, you would have lost 11 pips, you can now only lose 4 pips, right? And it makes it much better. So really, you only risked 4 pips in that trade. Like you want, but you would like to see this 5 minute now make a bottom wick first. It's important for, yeah, this, you want to see the bottom wick. People get scared, they're like, oh, they just wanted to push. No, the bottom wick is good because it's grabbing liquidity essentially to give you a push up. So bottom wick, break the highs, then you should get the push. Would have liked to see a little bit of a deeper bottom wick and then a flip, but seems like we have volume here to give you the push towards this resistance. Whatever you do, don't blame Harry for it. No, you can, well, I'm not going to give advice that you can blame me for. That's me. I'm not going to give advice that you blame me for. Whatever I take on screen, I take because I'm taking it and I have confidence in it. And if it loses, there's nothing I can do. But I'm not going to take a risky position here and we all lose a trade and people who follow my trades on the stream start losing. I don't want that to happen. You know, especially beginning of the month. You guys have to understand, when I'm trading for like a business. Like the income matters here. So I need to pace it properly. I don't need to take the first option at the first day of the month. Just settle. Let's see what happens. How is it moving? What are the ranges? Do we get the volume at the same time? Imagine we ranged the whole day. Imagine you took an entry here and we didn't get this candle and it started ranging. Well, that's information you found out. But to find out that information, you've taken maybe $1,000 loss. Sucks. Sucks to take $1,000 loss on that. But let's say this was proper confirmation and now we've seen that I have confidence going into tomorrow. And to tomorrow I have confidence and I can take setups that make sense. Yeah, I told you on gold that it doesn't make sense. We are bearish on gold. I don't know why you're trying to buy gold. Gold is bearish. Until you have a 4-hour candle closing bullish here, we're still bearish, or at least 1 hour closing back in the range. Everything's still bearish for now. Anyone take the trade at the break of 5 minute high? Let's see. Come on, speak up. Now you're in profits. You don't have to hide away in chat. Come on, no cap. Don't lie. Now you're in 9 pip profit at one point. So speak up in chat. Did you guys take it or not? I want to see who took it. Who liked the idea? I didn't take it because of small range. Yeah, your target is pretty small here. I mean, if you're happy with the small range, it's fine. But I'd rather wait. Again, as I said, first of the month. No rush. Do you also trade crypto? I personally don't trade crypto. I used to trade crypto, but now I switched to Forex. But I do look at crypto, yes. 164, 372 target for GJ. 164, 350. Not 372. 350 is better. I don't trade off the 5 minutes. I like that. Very sensible. Very, very sensible. I took it just before the big candle. Yes, it makes sense, but just be careful long term. Taking setups when we don't have closures above the resistance, because this is a gap. You have to understand that this is a gap here, so you can't trust this move here completely. We're just filling the candles before this. So be very, very careful in the future to watch behind it, because long term, this move can fail a lot of the time, right? Because I was investing in crypto. It was pretty hard to lose money when all crypto did is go up. But then when crypto was going down, I withdrew some of that money and I didn't like trading it because trading times, volume would come at random times. Like if we look at crypto now, it's not done anything. Look at it, it's just ranging. This move at night came at 5:15 a.m. my time. 5:15 a.m. I'm sleeping. But Forex, every single day I can come to the charts and I will get moves, or most of the time I'll get moves during my session, right? And that's what I want to be part of. I want to be part of moves in my session where I don't have to be coming to the charts at random times, right? So I still invest in crypto, but actively trade it? No, I rather trade Forex and invest in crypto. I think that's the best combination, to invest in crypto and trade Forex. Thoughts on investing in ADA? I would say, yeah, I mean, if you really trust the project, then you can. But for me, I like to stick to Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think it's the easiest and, you know, you have the most confirmation with it, basically. You know, you can't really go wrong. If crypto is going to go up, those two are guaranteed to go up. What are you looking to buy now? Not looking to buy any Bitcoin or Ethereum right now. I still hold some. I'm waiting for one more dip, essentially. If you're gonna buy. To buy now is not the best idea. Almost at that 350 target. See if it gets hit. I wouldn't be surprised to see London and give a huge retracement here on London. It's so hard to wait for target when you're so close to target. I tend to close before. I like that. I think that's a good habit. I also, if I'm like this 1 pip away from target and I'm happy with the profits, I'll just close. There's no reason. I've done my job in the day, right? The job is done, right? So I'll just close the trade and get on with the day. There's no point of trying to get that 1 pip, you know? Because you might lose 5-10 pips trying to wait for that 1 pip extra push. When I'm so close to the target, if I'm happy with the profits, I'll just close. If my idea is to get much higher, there's no reason why I can't close half, you know, or leave like a, you know, 1 or 2 lot runner or something. Just such a small position just to see what happens. Like if you're scared you're gonna miss a bigger move, you can leave a small runner just to see if it worked out or not, and you still make something out of it, right? $7 per lot, man. $7 per lot. Yeah, there's no harm in doing that, right? Because you don't lose anything, you don't win anything, but you win in knowledge, right? You win in building confidence. And building confidence will get you far in the market, right? So it's okay to take that on paper. I closed 90% GJ and runner whether it hit. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's a good way to play it. Close 90%. Your max TP was gonna be that 4-hour wick fill, and you want to see if that happens or not. So why not just leave a small position? If it happens, it's good. Your analysis played out, and you make a little bit extra money. Easy. Well, there's the TP hit now. Now let's see if we get any reaction. Let's see. So we're getting a small reaction so far. What's the max risk where you've ever taken while trading GJ? I never risk more than 5%. Never. I mostly risk between 2 to 3%, and that's because I don't like to keep so much money in a broker. I don't want to put 6 figures in a broker, that's for sure, because I don't know what will happen to the broker. So if you can double, if you're risking 1% on an account, if you just double that percent, make it 2%, you've basically also doubled your account. I did an account challenge, a small account challenge. When I was trading the small account challenge, I risked 15% of the account. My plan is to gold sell if price reach the resistance. You have to, yeah, it makes sense, but you have to wait for confirmation. You have to wait for bearish candle to close at. You can't just sell at the resistance, because what if it keeps pushing? If it keeps pushing, you're going to end up in a loss. So you have to wait for resistance to form, and then you can take the sells. This is why you have very accurate zones here. People were saying 400, 375, but 350 from my analysis was an important zone. And if you didn't take any profits at 350, you now just lost 8 pips worth of profit, right? So that's why I have these type of zones here, to be accurate, right? You have to be accurate with your analysis, and it's as simple as that. How many years have I traded? 3 years. On and off, more than 3 years on and off, but seriously, probably 3 years. Did you fail a lot at first? Yes. Yes. I started with smart money concepts. That's how I started trading, and I never found success in it. I only failed at smart money concepts. Then I looked around and said, all the traders around me, what are they doing, right? And a lot of them weren't trading smart money concepts. All of the crypto traders that were around me, they were trading like a form of price action. So I said to myself, I need to look at price action. And that's when I learned price action. Do you trade on a prop firm? No, I don't. I trade with my personal funds. Hey, morning. Are you in the trade or are you looking to trade? If I'm in a trade, I'll put this thing like this on the screen so you guys know I'm in a trade or not. I'm looking to trade. Yes, I'm looking to trade. How did you trade? How did you find traders around you? No, just the traders I watched in crypto, and I was also inside of a crypto group. And yeah, and then I dived into price action. I just made a simple YouTube search, price action trading. Started to learn from there. How much minimum money do you suggest to start? Depends on your goal. You can start with $500 account, $100 account, just to practice. Anything less than $100 is kind of just for fun. Like, you don't expect to do much. But I mean, you know, you can start with a small amount just to practice, but don't expect to make a lot of money from a small account, right? That's not realistic. I'd say you can do a lot with $1,000 account. $1,000 account is, you know, there's a lot of things you can do with that. Do Forex also have leverage? What leverage you use in every trade, or it's risk management? I use based on risk. In Forex, we have leverage, but I never use all the leverage. What I do use is lot size. So lot size controls how much you risk per trade. Because in Forex, we have something called pips. Those are the pips here, 8.9 pips. Every lot is equal to $10 per pip. So based on that, I can calculate. Do I still have the WhatsApp group? That was a scammer. I never had a WhatsApp group. Whatever WhatsApp group you joined was a scammer. I never even had a WhatsApp group. Only my all official groups I put in the description of my videos. Anything that you find outside of the description of my videos is fake. Right? If you join something or speak to someone and it's not in the description of my video or on my Instagram, it's fake. Right? It's fake. Other than the best, can you drop some YouTube channels you followed when learning price action? Well, the first one I followed, but it's not to do with Forex, it's to do with crypto. It's called Eric Crown. He's a YouTuber. I think his channel is now called Eric Crown. And then, to be honest, I didn't follow a specific. I would just search. Let me try to think. I'm sure at some point I watched a video from that. There was an Asian guy, very famous Asian guy. I'm sure I watched his video at some point, never worked. I used to watch Fibonacci videos, that never worked. Plenty of guys impersonating you on Discord and messaging me. Yeah, unfortunately the world is full of scammers these days and there's nothing we can do. I can only warn people, but no matter where you go and what you do, you find that there's scammers everywhere. If you're enjoying the stream, guys, be sure to leave a like. And if you're new to the stream, welcome. Hope you can benefit from this stream, enjoy with us, and take trades and learn. So be sure to leave us subscribe so that you can show up to the next stream. We do stream daily here. What's your minimum risk to reward? I don't take a position if it's less than 1 to 1. You know, I mean, I don't mind taking a negative risk to reward position if I expect it to push past the zone, but I'll go to break even if it at the zone where I expect it to fail. Do you have any advice on how to start being profitable when you still need a 9 to 5 job? Scalping or swing trading? I'm somehow, no, it's not somehow not profitable. It's normal not to be it's normal not to be profitable in Forex with intraday trades, and I can't trade while at work. Then I recommend you trade price action but of the higher time frame. So let's say you wait for a very specific setup here, like this 4-hour candle closing at support. You could have just taken the buy at the break of the high, stop loss below the low, and let that run. Similar thing here. You could have seen this resistance. We have a resistance here, clean candles to the left, you're bullish. As soon as that 4-hour candle closes above, you take an entry at the break of the high and target this resistance level here. You're just trading off higher time frames, and it takes days to play out, but that's what you can't afford to be looking at the charts all the time, and that's okay. You just have to adapt your trading style a little bit. Alright, some people said we would reject at 420. Some people said we'd reject at 475. Some people said 375. I said 350. And it's played true. So I'm happy to see the analysis play true. How do you set up a 5-minute, 1-minute scalp of bigger time frames? I've been having trouble with breaker structure, fair value gap. I don't use fair value gap and stuff like that. All my confirmation comes from the higher time frames, like dailies and 4 hours closing bullish or bearish determine if I'm looking for buys or sells. But when it comes to actually taking the trades, I mostly execute on the 30-minute, 15, and only use the 5-minute if I'm trying to find an entry, right? But all of my confirmation is coming from higher time frames, right? My confirmation for the buys, like let's say I was to take a buy today on this 15-minute, big 15-minute closing here bullish. I would only use the 5-minute to enter at the break of that 5-minute high, so I don't have to hold this bottom wick. I don't have to hold the drawdown in this bottom wick. I can just enter at the break of the high. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, don't concentrate too much on lower time frames. I would recommend you focus on taking entries with good confirmation, right? Lots of news coming up. No, nothing much, man. Just a bit of Euro news, but that's all after London Open. A little bit of GBP news, but nothing major, nothing major. If you day trade, would you still find an entry in the high volume sessions on the higher time frame? 1 day, 4 hour? No, if you're doing based off the higher time frame, as soon as it sets up on the higher time frame, just take it. Doesn't really matter the session. What's your daily bias today on GJ? I'm more bullish than bearish. How long have you been trading and when did you become profitable? Trading for 2 years now and I still can't make money. I'm losing more than wins. The profitability will take different times for everyone. I think the main reason why you're not profitable is you're not stuck to one strategy for a long time. So it took me maybe like almost 2 years to become profitable, but that's because I spent a year following a strategy I never understood. So it just took me a year of learning, or less than a year of learning a new strategy that made a lot of sense. But at the same time, when I learned the old strategy, it helped with the new strategy because you learn different fundamentals and stuff like that. Are you looking to buy above 430? Yeah, probably at this point I'll be looking to buy above maybe this 30-minute resistance here, probably at this point. Hello everyone from Poland, welcome, welcome. Do I trade New York session? Once a week I'll have a look at New York session, but my main session is London session. I don't want to be spending 8 hours at the chart. I rather just, you know, we start trading to, you know, give more time to ourselves. So spending so much time at the charts is not really always the best option. Alright guys, so my plan for now is trading now. After this is pretty tight range here. It's a very small range. To here is 7 pips only, so I probably need closures above here if I'm gonna take any form of trades here. I'll probably wait for London Open at this point. I think London Open will be the best option here to take trades. If we start getting closures above 350, I think we have an upside continuation here, chance to continue bullish, and I'll probably wait for that at the moment. So yeah, we'll see when that populates, and we'll basically wait for that. If I do take the trade, I'll post it in the group, so be sure to join the group. If you're new to the stream, welcome. I appreciate you guys joining. It's always a pleasure to have you. And yeah, unfortunately we couldn't catch anything today, but hopefully we can catch something tomorrow. And yeah, with that being said, I appreciate you guys showing up. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and hopefully catch you on the next one, and would like to see you guys there. And yeah, with that being said, take care, trade sharp, and until next time, thank you guys. And I'm still here.